national line at Eagle1023.com. Now live to the showroom at Kia of LaGrange for the inside scoop on Troup Tigers football.
Welcome to the Saturday morning quarterback show here, Troup High style. I'm your host, Greg Hicks, along with head coach Tanner Glisson, and we'll be our final show this season. Bittersweet, I guess, Coach. This time last year, it was a tough. We'd come off of a win, that's for sure, but it had been a tough season last year, and you turn things around. You and your team, your coaching staff. What a tremendous season! Not the way you wanted it to end. Of course, we're certainly blessed, that's for sure.
Well, we feel good about the turnaround, and I think history will be good to these guys sitting at 8-3. But you definitely don't want to go out the way we went out, and being upset at home, 24-21. It's tough pill to swallow. But we'll learn from it, and we'll get over it. We'll move on and be better in 2017. We hope. Well,
that's you brought Chandler here with your son. He's just turned 8 years on, not 8 months. He's a little older than 8 months.
He's a little big for 8 months.
He sure is. Whitney would be sore right now. Still, I tell you, he's 8 years old. He says, I said, Chandler, when we're going to go back to work? And I was going to say today. You said yesterday. I said, well, that's right now. I mean,
The better question coming in this morning was, Daddy, that team that beat y'all so bad, how'd they do last night? And I said, well, they won 77-14.
Yeah, I tell you what.
His eyes got about that big.
You know, it's funny, and I don't want to belabor the 68 points that Cartersville put on us, but and I tell folks, I said, guys, throughout the week, that's last week and a half, 2 weeks, I said, we didn't lay down. I mean, these Tigers never lay down. They keep hammering. They keep coming. I said, Cartersville is just that good. Of all the teams I've seen in 20 years of high school calling football, I said, that is probably one of the top 2 or 3 teams that I've ever seen top to bottom. There's no weaknesses.
Yeah, and I talked to a few of my mentors throughout the week, and we had some conversations about that Cartersville team, and several of those guys said that's one of the better teams they've seen, period. But you know what? I was glad how our guys came back and fought this week.
Oh, absolutely.
After that emotional deal, a build up to a region championship, and then to kind of get handed to it the way it did, and to be able to bounce back with a lot of energy. I was proud of them this week with the energy.
Well, and I guess one of the things you can take a look at, and I did on Saturday, I said, hey, folks, and you and I talked about this last week off the air, I think between the radio and the TV show, I said, the game has changed over the past 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
With all the RPOs out there and the spread offenses. You look at last Saturday's game, I said, heck, Washington put 66 up on Cal, I think. And I said, look at Ohio State. They put in the upper 50s on number 10, Nebraska. I mean, just on and on and on. People, Clemson 54-0 over Syracuse. Scores you don't really that are becoming more and more custom. And it's not that the other teams are by any chance, D3. It's just you hit them on a roll, and that's just what happens.
Well, the game has changed so much now. It's turned into so much of an offensive game. Just with a high tempo, referees are spotting the ball quicker, so you're getting more snaps in. Excuse me, got a little cold this morning, but you got a lot of, it's just offensive. The way the referees call the game with pass interference and targeting and stuff like that. I saw last night in the playoffs, you have Lowndes scored 90 points last night, 90. Yeah, 9-0.
Yeah,
and that's unbelievable.
Well, that's crazy. I don't know. I mean, we go back to collegiate days, and I think wasn't it Georgia Tech put 100 and 105 on somebody?
220.
I'm
a Tech fan. I know that.
You should know that. How do you put 220? I mean, they'd have to score every time they sneezed. I mean, every time they blinked an eye, and that's almost like crazy. But it's getting crazy, and I think both our fans, the Troup High fans and the LaGrange High fans, that we both made that trip to Cartersville. I think everybody here in Troup County realize they're good. Well, you know what? Good. I'm gonna leave it at this. I just hope that the state championship comes out of our region. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So and I tell you, and kudos to Sandy Creek last night. They went up to Marist.
They were down.
They were down 17-0 at the half.
That's right.
And came back and forced overtime and beat Marist at Marist. And that's a real tough place to go win a ball game.
Yeah. Well, kudos to Chip Walker and his staff and the team. I know they treated us right when we went up there. And
Chip and I talk about it every other day, and got a lot of respect for those guys.
Yeah, super program. So good for them. Hey, we're going to take a short break. break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about last night. We're going to talk about the season, kind of wrap it up. We'll be back shortly here. You're listening to Troup High Football on Eagle Sports.
Hi friends, Jess Lichter here with Key of LaGrange. Join us this month in participating in No Shave November. We're going to stop shaving and start raising funds for the American Cancer Society by donating a portion of our sales to them. We may not be shaving our beards, but we're shaving prices in all new Kias, like the 17 Kia Forte for as low as $15,900. If you're looking for a stylish car with great gas mileage, the Forte is perfect for you. Stop by and see us, beards and all, or visit us online at keyoflagrange.com and help support your local economy.
Price plus tax, tag, and title. Stock number 19075.
In 1916, Auto Owners Insurance teamed up with local independent agents so customers could get fast, friendly, local service.
Bravo!
It worked so well, we decided to keep it that way. And 100 years later, we still do things the same way, by teaming up with local independent agents who deliver quality, personal service. Some might call that old school. But then again, maybe everything old is new again. Kind of refreshing, isn't it?
Mallory Agency at MalloryAgency.com. For all your insurance needs, it's the Mallory Agency.
Russ Brown, owner of LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental, has all the tools and equipment handymen and contractors need in our area. And if you're planning a wedding, party, tailgate, reunion, or corporate event, LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental has you covered. Like them on Facebook and see all the particulars they offer. Plus, they're open Monday through Saturday. LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental, Greenville Street, LaGrange, next to CVS Pharmacy. Phone 706-882-8665. That's 706-882-8665. LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental.
There's another snap. We'll throw the ball again. Complete to Kobe. He's at the 5. Goes to his right. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers!
Kobe Hudson, about a 12-yard hook. Montez Crow hit him low about the kneecaps where only Kobe Hudson could catch it. He wove his way through into the end zone and had to dive across as he was about to be tackled. Great play call by Coach Kelby Holt. Touchdown, Tigers. First touchdown of the playoffs of this year.
Yeah, it was kind of exciting. You know, you couldn't just a little hook or a little curl route really, and boom, he took it, and his athletic ability, Kobe's that is, allowed him to get in. And you know, even with Montez's hand being sore from the previous week, it shaped up enough. It probably wasn't 100%, but good enough to make some pretty good throws last night.
His thumb was probably, I don't know, maybe 80-85%, and then he got dinged on a play, and it went to swelling again. And you know, it was just one of those things that he just had to fight his way through it. You know, I joked with him when he came to the sideline. I said, cut it off and give it to somebody who needs it. You know, I mean, we got to play. And kudos to him. You know, I love Montez to death. You win with him, you lose with him. That's just the way it works. Yeah. And quarterbacks have a ton of pressure. Having played that position myself, you know, you're the hero. You know, sometimes you're the GOAT, and that just happens. And we got to do a good job putting him in a good situation. And but very, very proud of him. We ended up with over 500 yards of total offense Friday. And if you'd have told me we'd have had over 500 yards and had lost a game, I'd have said you were crazy. Yeah. And but you know, it is what it is. It happens. And we got to do a better job in the turnover department and taking care of the football. Cam Russell had 210 yards rushing.
That's true. Hey, he was hammering. I tell you, it was last game, and you could just tell he was fired up.
Yeah, he was fired up.
Of course, he didn't know it was his last game. He was just giving it all he had.
Right. And nobody really knows this, but, I mean, this is the first year that he's made it through a complete season healthy. You know, I say healthy. I mean, he was still probably about 85% himself. And, you know, as the year went on, one thing that we really lacked was a lot of depth. And once you started losing a Jackson Davis, you started losing a Vicente Stafford, you started losing some of those guys, the depth issue really caught up with us toward the end, and we were running on fumes in a lot of positions.
Well, you know, speaking of Cameron Russell, reminds me of the seniors, and I think of guys like Cameron Russell. You know, let me just first, I guess it seems like he's been around forever, and if I've made one comment toward Cameron, I've made 100, and said if I was building a team, I'd want 10 more Cameron Russells on my team. What a heart for the kid his size. You know, he's got the impact of a much bigger player.
That's right.
Not just on the field, but in his heart and his leadership ability, and we certainly appreciate that. And then I think about you know, some other kids. You know, Eric Williams on defense, kind of the just quietly effective this year.
Didn't even play football last year.
You know,
this is his first year playing.
I was thinking about that Thursday night. I said, you know, Eric Williams has been out there. hammering heads all summer, and in this football season, he's been on probably 20 or so solo tackles or more, and he's been in because you do a lot of good job flipping in and out. But he has really come on strong, and I know he wishes he had another year to play.
Yeah, let's see if we can name all those seniors real quick. You got Cam Russell, you got Eric Williams that you've already named. Yeah, let's start on the offensive line. You got Brandon Barrington, you got Ethan Short, you got Ken Truitt, who played very, very well Friday night. You got Chance Hill, you got Dre Flagg. You get Jared Lane, Brandon Turner on the offensive line.
Ken Truitt, you mentioned him.
We lost Tim Hughley to injury about midway through the year, so that was tough on him. And let's see, it seems like I'm leaving one or two guys out. Tristan Thompson, who didn't get as many reps as he wanted to, but was a special teams guy, a scout team guy for us. And I think I'm up to 11 or 12 there. It seems like I'm missing one guy. Seems like I always do. But those seniors, just hats off to them, and they just did a tremendous job this year.
Well, it's one of the things that, of course, I picked it at Dre a few weeks ago, and I said, well, son, we were part, and I talked with and of course, I didn't realize you was going to put me on the spot the other day, but I talked to him and said, we were 1-9 my junior year, and we averaged over 350 yards offense, and we didn't throw the ball. I mean, that's just, you just didn't do that back in the 80s or late 70s. And so we had an offense that we could move up and down the field. We just couldn't put it in and score. And we had some changes. Of all the things, we made Tim Twilley move from our center. We moved him to quarterback. We ran the wishbone our senior year, pile up some yards. We had folks like Jerome Woodyard and Ricky Talley and Jeff Talley and Charlie Hurd and my twin brother and I just name them all. And we just hammered Tony Matheny and Brad Mormon. We wound up changing it, going from 1-9 to 8-3. And I know the elation that these guys were feeling. I also know the disappointment that when you're moving like that and you make changes, you're all excited, you start believing we can do this, and then it comes to an abrupt end like that. And you just realize, though, hey, you know what? This shall pass. We've started something. We've laid the groundwork. We've laid the foundation for teams to follow.
Yeah, I told the guys, I said, Thursday night, I said, look, this is going to hurt. The most it's ever going to hurt right now, and I think I lied. Because I think Friday, I think it hurt pretty bad.
Yeah.
Coaches and players and everybody put a lot of effort into it. But, that's life. That's how it goes. There's only going to be one champion coming out of Quad A.
Yeah.
And we hope it's coming out of our region. We hope it's either Cartersville or Sandy Creek. So those things have to end. I saw a great post on Facebook that that's not it's not where the story ends. It's just where you stop reading the story. Where you put the book down.
That's right.
And so that's pretty much where it is. And I hope we gave these seniors some good tools in their toolbox to use in life and going forward. And there's no doubt in my mind they're all going to be successful in whatever they choose to do.
Oh, I definitely agree with you on that. Hey, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Troup High Football here live from the Kia showroom. You guys come on out and visit us. We'll be right back on Eagle Sports.
Hi friends, Jess Lichter here with Kia of LaGrange. Join us this month in participating in No Shave November. We're going to stop shaving and start raising funds for the American Cancer Society by donating a portion of our sales to them. We may not be shaving our beards, but we're shaving prices in all new Kias, like the 17 Kia Forte for as low as $15,900. If you're looking for a stylish car with great gas mileage, the Forte is perfect for you. Stop by and see us, beards and all, or visit us online at KiaofLaGrange.com and help support your local economy.
Price plus tax, tag, and title. Stock number 19075.
Introducing the most valuable provider, your nationally ranked WellStar West Georgia Medical Center. Ranked a top 100 large community hospital by Truven Health Analytics. Named a top 100 great community hospital by Becker's Hospital Review. Rated top 100 in medical excellence and patient safety by CareChecks. WellStar West Georgia Medical Center. Award-winning healthcare right here in LaGrange. To learn more, visit wellstar.org/WGMC. We believe in life well lived.
Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's a step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships.
Turns, and the air's out way down the field. He's got Kobe there going for the corner. Did he catch it? Yes!
Touchdown!
Touchdown, Tigers!
I was just looking at Coach G telling the ref, watch the holding. Kobe Hudson blew right by him, caught the ball on about the 4-yard line under extreme coverage, stepped into the end zone, touchdown Tigers at the 2:48 mark of the first quarter.
And the other part of that, Greg, perfect pass by Montez Crow. He laid it exactly where he needed to be.
Beautiful play. We ran that same play at Bowden, if you remember, early in the season.
And, I keep referring back to the Bowden series. It was down really to the last play of the ball game. It was 4th and 12 or so. And you said, I don't know about this. I may have to disagree with Holt, but you wound up and agreed with him and wound up was a great play. Pass interference. And so, we've been able to go to that Montez Crow, Kobe Hudson combination many times this year. And I don't know, how many touchdown passes Kobe's called, but it's probably a dozen or so. So.
Yeah, I think he's sitting at 11, and I think I know this. He had over 100 yards receiving in the first half Friday, so that was big. And you talk about Bowden, they lost a heartbreaker last night, 29-28 in the playoffs. And but kudos to those guys up there, and we'll see them at their place next year. But one senior that I left off, and I think I was trying to make him a junior, trying to keep him around a little bit.
We'd like to.
Yeah, and it's Jack Schweizer. He plays both sides of the ball for us. Steady Jack out there, and a son of a coach and son of our AD, Bob Schweizer, and he holds for us on PAT, and he's on our punt unit and kickoff as well at times, and very, very smart. I think Jack wants to be a coach one day. He and I talked about that a little bit during this season, and I think he'll be a good one. And we got little Schweizer coming up now too, so that's good. He's a 9th grader, and so carry on that Schweizer tradition. And we got one more behind him.
I like that. I saw. I don't know what his name is, to be honest with you. I just saw him. I said, Jack, is that boy kin to you? The other day after practice, he said, no. Yeah, I said, he must be your little brother if you talk about that away.
The hair gives it away.
Yeah, it's true. Definitely got that good look to him. We want to thank Tara Messer and Chris Cagle Thursday for coming up and preparing the pregame meal for everybody. And it was that's a lot of effort. And Tara's a member of our touchdown club. We appreciate all that she does, and Chris just comes in and volunteers his time just whenever asked, and sometimes he doesn't even ask. He just says, you know what, I want to do this. So we appreciate that. Throughout the year we've had all the churches involved, this pregame meals and unsung folks that you just don't want. They don't want to be talked about, but they just said, here's some donation that we can help feed the players or provide some meals to the coaches, and we just appreciate everybody. And we had kind of the program had kind of gotten into a funk the last 5, 6, 7 years, and I think it's you mentioned the other day about relevancy, you kind of bringing that back to November, and that's we're gonna. I mean, you expect that's one of the things you walk into the season. You know what? We're playing more than 10 ball games, guys, every year. Just go on and count on it.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think a couple things. That we were brought here to be relevant, and we are. You finished second in the region in what most prognosticators say is the toughest region in Quad A.
It is,
and so that's good.
So.
But going back to feeding us yesterday, or I guess Thursday night, Rosemont Church had a hand in that. First Presbyterian down in West Point had a hand in that, and Tara and those people just do a great job helping us with that. And we just can't say thank you enough, because it takes a village to raise these children, and all the help that we can get is very, very important. I heard Pete Wiggins as we were coming in. He does a really good job of thanking everybody each week, and kudos to Callaway, by the way. Just happy for them. Glad they were able to win and advance, and keep that little train rolling for them.
And I want to go out and say right now that it's been this is a community investment. All you parents out there, it's changed in the last several years. It used to be long time ago. There was West Point, Hogansville, LaGrange, and Troup, and they were all divisions, and they just kind of kept to their own community. Now it's all one melting pot, guys, and we need to get out and support everybody. And we come up through the youth football and youth sports organization. We're all playing with each other, and we tend to, based on what zone we live in, we go our separate ways. So I'm going to encourage you guys, come out and support those Cavaliers, man. This is they've already made history. 10 wins in a row. 10 wins this season. Now they're 11-0. So they're on the track to win a state championship, the first time in school's history. Man, go out and support them.
Well, and let me say this: it is a lot of fun having rivals. It's a lot of fun for us to compete against Callaway or LaGrange and in different sports, and that's important. You got to have rivals to have good programs, because that's just what brings your fan base out, gets everybody excited. But at the end of the day, we need to be able to put those things aside and to support these kids as well, because if you look in the world today and things you see on the news and this and that, we got to make sure we're raising these kids in this community the right way, across rival lines or whatever it is, because they're all going to grow up and be quality citizens and live amongst each other. And so shout out to Callaway, good luck to them.
Absolutely. One thing that I can say, that even if the winner of LaGrange and Troup, or the winner of the Callaway Troup or Callaway LaGrange, the loser does not protest in the streets. I appreciate that. Let me just go on and say that. All right. I knew Coleman would get a kick out of that. I just wanted to say that. A good year. Not where we wanted to end, but appreciate all these seniors, and they'll have some memories to look back on, and in a few years they're going to come back and say, look, we turned it. Come on, guys, you can do this. And then, like you said, you've raised that bar. Now it's past 8 wins, and on a consistent basis. And I think when the kids start to expect that, they're going to walk in every year knowing that they're strong. They feel better physically, mentally in the classroom. They're strong. The supporting cast of coaches and cheerleaders and bands and teachers and parents and the touchdown club and the community, it has all come together, and it'll be an expectation every year that's what life's about, is to raise the bar.
Well, I can say this, in 17 years of coaching, whether being a head coach or assistant coach, I think this is the first year where I've been a part of an organization where we didn't sit down and set team goals. And you say, man, how you do that without setting team goals? Because we got all in the same room, and we talked about what was important to us, and the kids said respect, pride. Last year, 1-9, we had to walk around town with our heads down.
That's right.
You didn't wear your troop shirts uptown because people are making fun of you. And we said, what we want when this season's over with, we want respect from everybody. We want to be relevant again. And that was our goal.
Yeah.
Whatever that meant, that's what we were going to do each week, to try to be relevant and try to earn some respect. And I can say this, I think the Troop Nation can walk around with their head held high, and 8-3 is nothing to be ashamed of.
Yep.
And we look to even increase that and do better next year.
Well, that definitely should be the goal when we talk about next year. And again, I was picking at you earlier about, I said, Chandler, when do we start to go to work? And I was saying yesterday or today, and you said yesterday, and you're right. Get over it a little bit, give the kids a chance to kind of just reflect on the season. But real soon they're going to be hammering out those weights. And I know a lot of these kids, like today, we're up at East Coweta with a wrestling dual match. That's actually going all over the place. And I know I've got Dre and Scott up there, and we're going to pick up. Coach Garner and I were talking last night. We're going to get hopefully about 10 to 12 wrestlers. We were kind of going through them, and that's exciting, number one, for the wrestling program, because I know how you guys like to, you really advocate sharing athletes. Like, come on, if you're an athlete, you want to do this, it'll make you better. And we're excited about it. Just moving on and all that feeding off each other is going to make the whole athletic program better.
Yeah, I told our guys in the team meeting on Friday that I wanted them to play another sport. I want them to at least participate in 2 sports, obviously football and then another sport, whether it be wrestling, baseball, basketball, or track.
Yeah.
And I think that's just important.
Yeah.
You sit around and you say, well, I'm just going to play one sport, and then next thing you know, you're laying on the couch watching SpongeBob. You got to keep that poison out of your system, what we call it, and keep working and stay disciplined and have structure each and every day. So I think that's important, and so we're really pushing those guys to participate in other things right now.
Well, that's exciting. So you guys, unfortunately, our football season is over, but fortunately for the Troup High Tiger Nation, we're moving into wrestling, and we're moving into basketball as we speak. And I know there's always competition cheering going on. It seems like that goes on year-round.
Oh, man, shout out to them this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, real quick before we get off the air, won sectionals
wonderful.
Yesterday.
That's
and
great.
Today they're competing for the state championship.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Shout out to them, and really excited to see what they do. They left at 7 o'clock yesterday morning and placed first in the sectionals
I
yesterday.
Coach Hills, Coach.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great.
And that's Coach Key and Miss Ashmore and her group of girls. That's just wonderful. We're totally excited because they really support the heck out of Troup football.
Yes.
We want to do the same for them.
Absolutely. Well, good good luck to the competition cheer team. We certainly hope they come away with their state championship. With that being said, man, you guys hang in there all year long. Come out and support all the different programs. Baseball season will be right around the corner. You guys come out and have a great time watching your Troup High Tigers perform in all aspects. With that being said, I'm your host, Greg Hicks, with head coach Tanner Glisson. We will see you next year. Go Tigers.
It's 12:48.